thought I would come on here today because I've been thinking a lot about how my life has gone in the last couple of years. And someone said to me I should not be doing videos while I'm driving. Well, don't worry, I won't look at the camera very much. And pardon me, I did not put makeup on today, so pardon my plain ugly face. But just wanted to come on here while I have a few minutes, because I don't think I'll be alone most of the day. Well, I will in the evening, and just talk about some of the good things that have come out of the last couple of years, or that have happened. I don't know that anything has come out of it yet, but good things have happened. And it's all really God's doing. So, try to make this quick as much as I can. In October of 2021, I asked my ex, who I was still married to at the time, to move out. And I asked him to move out so that he could go to therapy. This guy's trying to die. So that he could hopefully go to therapy for 6 months to a year. And then the plan was, after 6 months to a year, we would kind of come back together and see if there, any insights to how to make our marriage work. And of course, I would go to therapy too. And I did go to therapy for a while. He went to 2 sessions, came home after the second session, and said, there's this paper that my therapist wants us to sign. And he handed it to me, didn't say anything more, didn't talk about wanting to actually do it right then and there. He was always notorious for trying to lob the ball into my court and make everything be my responsibility. So I wasn't going to have that this time. I was like, okay, if he wants to have this signed, he's going to have to speak up and come up with a time for us to sit down, look at it, and do it. Well, he never did that. He never spoke of it again and never went back to therapy again. So in December, I served him divorce papers. So clearly you don't want to do the work to make this marriage last. Clearly you don't want to be married to me. So, it's time for us to just go our separate ways. Okay, so that was terrifying. I had been a stay-at-home mom for like 9 years, something along those lines, 8 years. And I hadn't worked, and I planned to keep the house. Like, how in the world was I going to be able to do that? He didn't want to do any fighting in court. He wanted to settle everything in mediation, and he pretty much gave me everything I asked for just so that we wouldn't have to go to court. He's very anti-court. He does not like going to court because I think it's really a money issue. He don't want to spend the money. And really, he so much has said that here recently. So that was one good thing. This could have been a long, drawn-out court battle, and the divorce could have been, and I could have been seriously screwed in a lot of ways, and I wasn't. So I think that was a God thing. God looking out for me. And so the divorce went pretty easy. I kept the house. I got the custody that I wanted. And now I did have 2.5 years. I asked for 2.5 years for me to be able to either refinance the house or sell it, because I knew I needed to make money. I knew I couldn't refinance it right away. I had to find a career somehow. Well, anyway, I went into real estate, and December would be the 2.5 years this year. We were divorced in June of 22. So that was one good thing, that everything went my way in the divorce. There wasn't too stressful. And the next thing is, I started studying to become a real estate agent, and went in to take my test. You got to take a national and a state test. And on the national test, I felt like I did pretty good. The state test, I was like, oh man, I don't know if I'm passing this. I might have to take it again. And I passed it the first time. I couldn't believe it, really. I didn't expect to pass it the first time. I really didn't. And I did, and I felt like that was a God thing. He got me into real estate. I didn't have to spend another month, waiting to study and take the test. And then, a year and a few months later, I come down with cancer. Or I'll come down with it. Clearly, I'd had it already, but now people could say that, is that a God thing? You end up with cancer. And it's a hard one to talk about because clearly God chose for me to have cancer. And I don't know why. He knows why. But we'll talk about the surgery. Okay, so I had surgery in December of 2023, and I was kind of scared. I had read some pretty nasty horror stories of people that went through that surgery. Not even so much for the surgery, but what happened after the surgery. There are a lot of people that go through colon cancer surgery and come out pretty miserable. They would have they either had a bag for either a period of time or maybe even permanently. Their bathroom habits, not habits, but their bathroom, okay, we'll just say habits, become very stressful. They have to be in the bathroom a lot. And I was so scared. I was like, man, what? Or they have to have parts of their bowels removed that are not conducive to having a normal kind of bathroom life. So I came out of surgery. Now my surgeon did nick an artery when he was finished up with the surgery and taking the robot out of my body. He did nick an artery, which made my recovery a little harder. But once I was recovered, everything was fine. Like, my bathroom habits were pretty good, actually better, because when I had cancer, I had a lot of diarrhea, or I had the tumor, I guess you could say. And then after surgery, everything was just fine, and I see that as a God thing. He took care of me. So I guess what I'm saying is, and all these hard things that have happened in my life in the last few years, really hard things, most of them have turned out better than I expected. Now, did I expect my cancer to spread after 6 rounds of chemo? No, that didn't turn out better than I expected. But, I quit chemo in April, and this is July, almost August. And yeah, there are some things going on inside. My tumor markers are going up. But I can still function. I still feel pretty decent most days. And there are some people that cancer takes them down really quickly. And so far that's not happening. And I just wanted to talk about the good things. Not everything's been good. Like I said, the cancer spread after 6 rounds of chemo. That wasn't good. But there have been good things. And I will also say one good thing that I find had come out of this. Prior to me having cancer, knowing that I had cancer, me and my younger son, we were in a terrible place with each other. There was so much fighting. I mean, ugly fighting. He would go back and forth between his dad's house and my house. And before I got cancer, he had pretty much determined that he was going to stay at his dad's house and never talk to me again. And cancer kind of healed our relationship. We have been living together now again since, I don't know, September or October of last year? Maybe August? I don't know, almost a year. And we hardly fight anymore. I mean, every now and then we get into little spats, but for the most part, we get along really good. And I really think cancer is the reason. Maybe it made him grow up a little bit faster, realizing that, understanding that life is not something that's going to go on forever. I don't know what it is, but we get along pretty good now. Maybe I changed in some way, I don't know. So I just wanted to talk about the good things. And I wanted to praise God for the things that He's done. Even through all this hard stuff. God doesn't promise us an easy life. He doesn't promise us, to be prosperous. At least not in the way of the world. There's prosperity and a godly prosperity. And that He does promise us. So I hope you can see that in every situation there are some good things, and we have to try to find them or else we'll go insane. I have been down a lot of times throughout this process, but I'm still here for now. Oh, and one last thing that I'll talk about, the agonizing decision to move to Missouri, and then the fact that my ex-husband isn't fighting me to keep my daughter here, that's another good thing, another God thing. I had been agonizing about that decision for a really, really long time, going back and forth, not being able to make the decision, agonizing and grieving over the loss of my home. I mean, I love my home. I wanted to live there till I died, at least not from cancer at 48, but I wanted to live there until I was an old lady and died. And that was what I planned on even after the divorce. And I've prayed and prayed and prayed to God. 2 days later, I was sitting down with a friend. I mean, other people had said this to me before, but having her say it to me for some reason just resonated with me. What's the big deal about just selling everything and moving? It's kind of what she said, sort of, not in those terms, but and after talking with her and praying for a couple of days, I came away content with the thought of moving, no longer holding on to the grief of losing my house, realizing it's just a home, and I can't even take care of it that well. It's not being taken care of as well as it should be, and it is a burden on me, a financial and physical burden. And finally, when I finally came to peace with that decision, it's like the weight of the world was lifted off of me. And I'm okay with moving now. I actually kind of wish I could just hurry up and get it done. But, I want to finish out some transactions with some clients that I have, and I want to stay here long enough for my son to go into boot camp, and I just want time to plan, really. So, things have turned out better than I had expected, and I am still hoping that the cancer thing will turn out better than I expected. I'm hoping that I will be able to be cured. And I know it's possible. I don't know if it's probable, but I know it's possible. And so I am going to do my best to, believe that I'm going to be cured and I can go on with life. So that's my little live video for today. And I hope y'all are doing well. I hope y'all are blessed. I hope y'all are praying through your problems, because you have to. If you don't, all that despair is just going to sit on your chest and just suffocate you. So pray through your problems. God is real. God is there. I promise you, He is. And He's waiting for you if you don't know Him already. So have a great day, and I will be in touch soon. Bye-bye.